Welcome to the ROK Podcast, also known as Recruit Oklahoma. And I am here with a very special guest, one of the very few multi-sport athletes, all-staters ever in history of Oklahoma sports. And he is from my hometown, Guthrie, Oklahoma. So I'm just going to read a couple of things off, and we're just going to go from there. We're going to jump right into it. So today's guest is one of the most decorated multi-sport athletes in Oklahoma high school history. A true legend from Guthrie, Oklahoma, Donte Foster was a rare three-sport all-stater in football, basketball, and track and field. By the time he graduated from Guthrie High School, he had 6 state championships. That's ridiculous. 6 state championships. And so he helped the Blue Jays to a football state title in 2007. He captured back-to-back basketball state titles in 2008 and 2009 under the great Coach Paparonis. And he dominated the track and field circuit with, state champion in triple jump, high jump, 4x1 relay. He was doing everything. But from high school, he went to Ohio University, where he became one of the most productive wide receivers in program history. Donte finished his college career ranked first all time in receiving touchdowns and top 5 in both career receptions and receiving yards. He was a playmaker during Ohio's historic run of 3 consecutive bowl wins, the New Orleans Bowl, the famous Idaho Potato Bowl, and the Independence Bowl. And he also capped off his senior season with 1,000 yards and 7 touchdowns, earning him all-conference honors. Donte signed with the Minnesota Vikings as an undrafted free agent in 2014. He spent time with San Diego and a few other teams, but he continued to chase his dreams. He is a champion in every sense of the word. We're honored to have him on the show. Mr. Donte Foster, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good. I appreciate you having me.
Good, man. Did I leave anything out of there, man? I think I got it all.
I think you got it all.
I think I got it all. Okay. Man, 6 rings, man. So, man, that's like you up there with MJ now. MJ, Tom Brady.
Yeah, you the GOAT. It was definitely a fun time. I know that we have like a little, showcase or whatever at the house. So, yeah, it's full of
bling,
a lot of
bling. I got that bling in there.
We got some rings in there.
Yeah, man. So I'm from Guthrie, originally from Guthrie. So I grew up going to south, both sides of the viaduct.
Yeah. Okay.
And went to Cotterill.
Yeah. That's
little middle school
on the west side of Guthrie.
Yeah. And but a lot of my family's there. And so I was talking to my cousin Santon Jones, and he was we were talking about athletes that came out of Oklahoma. I was talking about Mandrell Dean and people around my age. And he was like, man, you know about Donte Foster? I was like, no, I don't. Tell me about him. I said, man, he's probably got more rings than anybody. Like the first 3-sport all-stater one of the first in Oklahoma.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, man, let me check this dude out. So I went on and checked you out, man, and I'm like, dude, I got to get him on here.
Yeah.
So you're like, very few people have done that in the state of Oklahoma. 3 all-state honors, and so man, so tell me about you grew up in Guthrie, right?
Yeah. So I mean, just like you said, we grew up on both sides of the viaduct. Grew up Silver Valley area, so that's pretty close to Cotterill. Moved back over to the east side. Think we moved back over to Silver Valley.
Okay.
Then we moved back over to the east side, and then we finally settled over there by Guthrie Lake. But yeah, I'm born and raised in Guthrie.
Yeah. Okay.
Mom grew up in Langston. Was born in Langston, grew up and graduated from Guthrie. Dad is actually from Detroit, Michigan.
Okay.
He went to Guthrie Job Corps, which is over there on the west side as well. So, we just kind of playing it right there.
Yeah, man. My matter of fact, I think my great grandmother is probably the oldest person in Oklahoma. In Guthrie.
Really?
Maybe in Oklahoma. She's 109. So.
Oh man.
So, but she's give her a shout out, hey grandma. Nah. But she's still
a good
she's
long
still
life
well.
right there.
Yeah. So she's seen a lot.
Yeah. I bet.
So I'm gonna ask you a few questions, man.
Okay.
What was it like being I know you're modest, but what was it like being the dude in Guthrie? Like. I know you don't want to brag on yourself, but go ahead, man.
For me, I feel like my dad really kept me humbled. You know, he didn't let me have that type of mindset. So, whenever we were playing sports, I mean, we came up with a great group of guys. My classmates, they were just as good.
Yeah.
I mean, we as a collective, I feel like we all earned those type of rings. So
Absolutely.
I never really thought I was like outside of that scope. I mean, I was a part of that group. So, for me, I never considered myself as that guy.
That guy, yeah. Because you had like you said, it's a team sport. You got football and basketball back to back,
and I had the same friends from head start. I mean, we basically learned how to walk together. So it just never crossed my mind like, hey, I'm really, y'all are walking with me. We walking together.
Yeah. So like I said, I mentioned I grew up in Guthrie up until the fifth grade.
Okay.
And then I moved to Oklahoma City.
Okay.
And then the ones that I grew up with, they mad at me because I'm beating their heads in. Sports because I went to John Marshall High School.
Oh, okay. So y'all were probably taking advantage of Guthrie. Yeah.
We beat them up a few times.
Yeah.
I said, I'm sorry, cousin. Y'all, I got to get to y'all. So tell me, what age did you realize like you were different? Or did you?
I mean, to be honest with you, it probably wasn't until my freshman year, whenever basketball season finally came around. We had one freshman basketball game that I got to play with, the people I grew up with, and then from there, Coach P was like, "Yeah, you're not playing with them anymore. You're playing with varsity.
Yeah,
like, you're gonna go play with them from now on. Like no JV, none of that." So I was like, "Oh, maybe I am a little special." Like, so I don't. I think it had been a while since a freshman had played varsity, and especially with Coach P. Coach P didn't didn't really allow it. Yeah, he was tough. Yeah, he was tough. So for him to move me up, that's when it finally started to click a little bit.
So how many sports did you play? Football or basketball?
Football, basketball, and track is all I did. I mean, that was. My dad wouldn't. I told him I wanted to play soccer or baseball. He was like, "You're doing too much."
Okay.
He was like, "You need to stick with one sport per season."
Okay. Yeah. So I can say I'm better than you. I play 4 sports.
Man, did you play baseball?
I played baseball.
Man,
same time
I wish I played baseball. That's what I wanted to play too.
Got one up on you, but no, you still all stated in 3 sports. I only did it in 1. So, but that's good stuff. We mentioned Coach P in high school. Did you have any coaches like during Little League where like you looked up to who mentored you growing up?
Yeah, I mean it was my dad. I mean he from. I think from 3rd grade up until junior high or so, he probably coached us, Guthrie Lakers, and we used to play in a ton of tournaments. So he coached me, he mentored me. He was hard on me, I can tell you that much right now in sports. But he kind of set that example because he was a hard-working man as well. So to see him take that role on to coach us and. Also have to be going to work. He switched jobs for us and stuff like that. So that was my mentor. That was the guy that got me up until that point.
Did you mention any brothers or sisters?
I have 2 brothers. I have an older brother and I have a younger brother. Okay. My older brother used to beat me up a lot.
Okay, I was gonna say who's the toughest?
Yeah, I mean he still hasn't played me in a while, but he would never let me win in a game, no matter. I mean,
he would not.
If it got close, he would get physical. Okay, and he was bigger. So
how big was he?
So he wasn't taller than me, but he was stronger than me. So still to this day, I mean, he hasn't let me win.
Yeah, but he's so who was the most competitive in the household? Was it his big brother or?
It was close, but it was probably I'm probably more competitive. He still won't let me win, though.
You got you.
But he played basketball as well. He played under Coach P, too.
Okay.
He graduated high school in 2004, so I think he only got a couple of years with Coach P. But, we went at it a lot in that driveway.
Okay. Growing up in Guthrie, what's something that you can remember that people outside of Guthrie won't really understand? Any traditions?
I mean, I think a lot of people think Guthrie which it is, just a country town. Cows, horses.
Yeah, in some parts,
Yeah, so like from the outside looking in, like there's not a lot of athletes in Guthrie, but there's a ton. If you talk to any out-of-staters or people from far away, they're like, you went to Guthrie,
right?
They just seem amazed that there are actually athletes in Guthrie.
Yeah. I know a few just in my class,
Yeah.
man. Just so,
yeah, I mean, there's been a ton of athletes even well before me. I mean, like, Roland Miller was one that really stood out.
Yeah.
I mean, he would come back to the alumni game and drop 40.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, I think he actually had the scoring record at
ECU. Probably, broke ECU's record.
Yeah, so there's some, you know, go almost a decade above that, and you got DeMarco Jones. I'm not sure if a lot of people know about him, but you know, he was Lamar Jackson before Lamar Jackson existed. So he has a state title in football as well. So, you know, from the outside looking in, there is a lot of farming in Guthrie.
Yeah, and Kai Staley.
So I played with Kai Staley's a grade above me, and you know, he's an Oklahoma State product as well. I think he was Gatorade All-American. So
he's big names.
There's a lot.
Who was your childhood sports hero? Did you have one?
1000% Kobe Bryant.
Kobe?
I mean, growing up, it was, you know, from 2000 until you know 2010. It was Kobe Bryant.
Yeah. How did it hit you when you got the news?
Man, I was actually at a we play in a Santa Fe basketball league here, and I was at the gym, and somebody was like, man, the plane just crashed.
Right.
I was like, oh, man, you know, who was on it? They said Kobe Bryant and his daughter. And I was like, man, I felt like everybody in that gym just sunk. Like, they were about to cancel the game.
Yeah. I was actually in the gym when I heard the news, too.
Yeah, it felt like I knew him. Like, it felt like I lost a family member.
Yeah, that was tough.
It is. It still is. You know, you see videos of him and all these things, all these quotes that he says, and I'm like, man, what if he was still around?
Yeah, man, it'd be different. Okay, what was one rule in your house that you had to follow no matter what?
I don't know if it was necessarily a rule, but we had to respect my mom. You know, They, if she called our name and we said, you know, what?
No,
it wasn't what.
Yes,
I feel like you could see
you might see a shoe coming
your way.
Oh man!
And if my dad hopped off that couch, you knew what it was too.
Right.
So that was probably the biggest rule, was the respect factor of everything.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah.
Have you ever been kicked out of a youth game for being too good? Scoring too many points or whatever?
I don't know if I was necessarily kicked out, but I know in Little League, I was it was YMCA ball, probably like 7 years old or so. In the YMCA, if you're up by 10, you can't full court press. So they make you get back, you know, behind half court or whatever. So I took it upon myself to basically trail whoever was dribbling the basketball. Wait for them to pass half court, steal it, and then go score. So I did that about 3 times. And then
go sit down.
Yeah, it was my cousin who was actually the referee, and he was like, "Nah, you got to go back."
Oh, he was the ref?
Yeah, he was the referee. He was like, "Nah, you're done, man. Go get inside the 3-point line." So that I wasn't kicked out, but I guess I was kind of punished for that.
I got you. If you would have asked 10-year-old Donte what he'd be doing at 25, what would he have said? Yeah.
It was probably NBA.
NBA?
It was probably it was definitely the NBA.
Yeah.
At 10-year-old me, I was going to the league for sure.
Yeah.
So I was definitely going to say NBA. I was. It was going to be Kobe.
So now fast forward to Guthrie High School, and we talked a little bit about Coach P and stuff like that. Who was your football coach?
Rafe Watkins came in there and won. He won 2 championships during. Maybe 3. It was either 2 or 3 during his tenure there.
Okay.
He won in 2002, 2009, and then he may have won. He might have won one like in 2013 or 14 if he was still there.
6 state championships and all. Can you tell me a little bit about, you had football. You had 1 in football.
1 in football.
Okay,
yep.
2 back-to-back in basketball.
Yep. And
3 track.
Yep.
Okay, so tell me about your basketball. I know we talked about Coach P a little bit, but
the basketball was definitely special. I don't think they had won a championship since, I think it might have been the 60s,
probably
68 or something like that. So that one was it was definitely special. It was a good run. I mean, it was great. I mean, we just had that group of guys that, like I said, we all grew up together, and we all stayed put, and I mean, we just kind of ran through that league, ran through the conference, and it was huge for sure.
And so talked a bit about Coach Pete Paparonis, who is the only coach in Oklahoma to win back-to-back state championships with girls and then do it again with boys. So I had him on the show earlier this year, and but we talked about it all, and how he didn't want to coach girls. He hated girls. he said you couldn't pay me to coach girls. But
his
now
daughters, his daughters were special as well. I mean, they both went D1 for basketball too.
Yeah.
So
one of them went to Navy. So my second son, he just graduated from Navy. He played football at Navy, Naval Academy. So she came in. I think they probably seen each other just for about a year, and he just graduated. So, but yeah, she went to Navy, and then there's one at San Francisco, I believe.
Yeah, I think she's transferring. I'm pretty sure, but she did go to San Francisco for a year. But I still remember those two. Whenever he was still coaching us, they would just be running around the gym. Yeah, just little girls, just following dad playing basketball. Yeah. So it's crazy to see where they're at now.
Yeah, man. Well, let's talk about the football championships real quick, or just the football championship. How did that go? Who was your quarterback then?
So we won my junior year. So Kai Staley was actually the quarterback mixed in with a little bit of Keaton Callens. So he was. Because Kai was an athlete, so he played quarterback, running back, wide receiver. He did it all. So. It was him and Keaton were the quarterbacks then. So, but yeah, that was definitely a special season. I'm pretty sure we went undefeated that year.
Yeah,
so
I mean, to have Kai on the team too. So
yeah, I mean, it was bad for a lot of teams. I mean, we had the T-shirts made, and we probably averaged. We averaged over 50 points a game. God, I mean, it was there was so many 68, 69 to nothing games. Yeah. It was bad. It was brutal.
Some games you didn't get to play the second half.
That's literally how it went. That's literally how it went. We would play one drive in the third quarter, and then everybody gets pulled. We asking like, hey, can I try out cornerback or something like?
Right, just try out.
Yeah, let's just try to have fun. I mean, but everyone got to play. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah. Was there ever a time where you wanted to just specialize in one sport?
No, because I like to play in season. I mean, looking back, I probably should have. I think that did interfere with a lot of recruiting just because no one knew what I wanted to play in college. Is he going to play basketball? Is he going to play football? I'm not, which one is he going to do? But, back then I just went, when my friends went to go play football, I want to go play football too. I don't like the off season. All they're doing in basketball, all they're doing during football season in basketball is running. So that don't sound fun. And then, I couldn't give up track. I mean, I tried to, but then I ended up coming back to it. So,
they're not gonna let you give up track.
I mean, my senior year, I definitely did try. I think I did 4 track meets my senior year.
Okay, and you won them
all.
I
was like, man, I'm gonna lift weights. I'm gonna try to get big and all this other stuff. And then all my friends leaving during school, and I'm like, oh man, I wanna leave school and go play too. So. I ended up doing 1 track meet before conference. So I did that track meet, conference, regionals, and then state. And that was literally it.
Just took it over. So what sport were you – so like me in high school, my love was basketball.
Yeah.
But I was better in football.
Right.
So what was your best sport? Was it –
I don't like to believe it, but it was probably football. For me, I'm a basketball player. Like that's what I'm gonna play. I'm gonna be an NBA. I'm going to the NBA. There ain't a lot of 6'1" point guard or guards or anything like that. But in my mind, I'm like, that's all right. I can be there's Muggsy Bogues.
Right.
There's a lot of short, Nate Robinson.
Yeah.
There's a lot of short people, but in hindsight, I probably was better at football. We just had, like I said, so many athletes at Guthrie that. I didn't play varsity my freshman year. Barely played varsity my sophomore year. So, that just goes to show how many athletes really came out of Guthrie.
Right. So in basketball, I know in football you mentioned you went undefeated and won state championship. So switching over to basketball, like what was there ever a team or somebody that you that was really good in basketball? I mean, what teams?
In basketball, man, there's always Carl Albert. They're just the powerhouse of 5A. But weirdly enough, there was a group that came out of Hera, Oklahoma. Right down I-40. I think they may be the Panthers or something. I just know they were solid. They gave us fits. I know it might have been. I think it was actually my senior year of high school. They beat us. I think we were 27-2, and our losses may have came from them.
From them too.
It was bad. They had some twins. They had a guy that came in and he literally grew like 6 inches over the summer. They came in and they gave us
solid,
fits.
huh?
But yeah, they stood out to me in basketball for sure.
We already mentioned that you have state titles in 3 sports. Which one of them meant the most to you that you can recall?
It was probably the first basketball championship.
Okay.
Because if you could have seen my dad's face whenever we won that, man, you would have thought he won that championship.
Right.
Like he just looked so accomplished.
Yeah.
Because like
Had
I
his
feel
chest
like
out like this.
man, it was almost like he was living for it.
Yeah.
So whenever we won that first one, he like you could just see it in his eyes. He was just like,
Yeah.
we
did
so
that.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'd say that first basketball championship. Not that football didn't mean nothing to him, but
No, that meant the most.
we're a basketball family, so you know that it was a lot.
I don't know if you talk much trash during the games, but can you remember a time where like who had the pettiest trash talk?
Man,
Like,
and I really can't. I can't really remember myself talk. I know I did. I
You
know.
know you
I
did.
know I did. I mean,
yeah.
I to this day in little games I still talk trash.
You got to.
So
Yeah,
I
yeah.
know I talk trash in high school,
Yeah.
but I cannot pinpoint a time whenever I did. I'm sure my teammates can. They
probably remember. They
they
remember
probably like,
everything.
hey, calm down. But I do remember. It was against Hera. It was at Carl Albert during regionals. There weren't supposed to be any signs, and there was they had put something on a sign, and I don't know if I saw it, but it was enough for my mom to get up, go over there to the administration and tell them, hey, they better put down that sign.
Oh man, it was that bad. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know what it was. They took down the sign though.
Man, well that's good. Mama know how to handle things. Isn't it?
Yeah, they took down the sign. I was like, hey, but I don't even know if I even saw the sign.
Now, so as a 3-sport athlete, how did you prepare mentally and physically? I mean, did you have a routine, or you just kind of just went with the flow, man?
I think I literally just went with the flow. I mean, there was no weight change in high school. I mean, in high school, I was probably 6'1", 6'2", 157, 160 pounds.
Yeah.
I think the heaviest I ever got in high school was probably like 165.
Okay.
So there was really not a lot of preparation because even since we made it to the playoffs in football, I mean, basketball season had already started. So the biggest preparation was probably getting in condition.
Okay.
I mean, so we just run. We did suicides all day, and that was Coach P.
That was it. Yeah.
Coach P's like, hey, I don't even know if we're gonna pick up a basketball today, but I can tell you what, we're gonna do these suicides.
Yeah. So like I said, I know his girls and how they played, and I've heard about his practices. It's like you may not pick up a ball during practice. You just running conditioning.
I mean it was a test. I mean that was his deal. We would never be out conditioned.
Right.
If we lost a game, we weren't going to be because we were tired.
Yeah.
So and I mean that it was good because there were some games where he'd have me play the entire game and you wouldn't even notice it until the game is over. Like I wasn't tired.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
I mean, during season, we're running.
Yeah.
One dribble, we're running.
Yeah.
So
no doubt. Yeah. He's a great coach.
He was good for sure.
At the beginning of the show or at the podcast, we said there's only 6 athletes that have all stated in 3 sports. Okay. And the ones that I knew that were in my era was Tyler Lockett, one of the Lockett brothers.
Okay.
Matt Holliday played baseball.
Yeah.
I think he was golf and baseball and football, of course.
He was good.
And then Sam Bradford. Went to OU. So and then the other 2 were like they were older guys, so I didn't know them. But those you in company with those individuals, like what does that mean to you being in that company?
Man, that's insane. I mean, I still remember playing against Tyler Lockett whenever we played Booker T. He might have been a freshman, and then Sam Bradford. I actually played AAU basketball with him, and I had no idea that he was that type of quarterback as well because I had only seen him play basketball, and he was a sharpshooter. Yeah. So, but that's definitely a great honor. I'm trying to remember what else he all stated in because he's a great golfer too.
Yeah, that's so I think he all stated in golf.
He's an insane golfer.
Yeah.
He could probably go pro.
I want to say
right
baseball.
now.
I want to say baseball.
Okay, so it's
football
baseball
and golf. I think it was three.
okay. He didn't play basketball, and
Basketball
I know he
too.
played. He might have given it up, but I know he played AAU basketball there for a little bit.
Yeah.
Because he was on the same team as Blake Griffin.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he was with Blake Griffin.
Speaking of Blake, his dad Tommy Griffin was my coach in high school.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay.
I saw Blake and Taylor Griffin running around when they were little growing up. So before they were tearing down rims and everything.
He was a great coach as well.
Yeah.
He definitely was.
In high school, when did colleges started tapping in and recruiting you and talking to you and things like that?
Yeah, I can't remember exactly, but I'm sure it was probably around junior year. Nowadays the rules have all changed.
It's
for
different.
some reason I feel like they couldn't even talk to you until your junior year in high school back then. But I want to say it was probably junior year.
Okay, and what sport?
Was it? We had a few letters coming in. I mean, it was definitely all three. I mean, I even got some for high jump, for track, basketball and football. So all three of them were recruiting.
Did you ever play through an injury or some crazy adversity in high school that no one really knew about?
I feel like I was pretty healthy in high school, especially for how scrawny I was as well. So it's kind of surprising. No, I mean, I know in high school I got a concussion. It was against Carl Albert my sophomore year. It was supposed to be a bubble and go. Kai Staley was the quarterback.
Yeah.
I don't know if he just didn't hear the go, but he threw the bubble with no blockers out there. So it was just a bubble. Caught the ball, and I was like, all right, well, it's time for some action.
Let's go.
Let's make it work. Did a move, acted like I was going outside. I did a spin move, went back in, and before I could even fully turn, their linebacker was he was just right there in my face. And sophomore year, I was probably 140.
Okay.
So
broke in half.
The last thing I remember is him screaming on top of me. It was like a violent.
You didn't remember the hit.
I just hear the scream, and that was it. So it was bad. I was like, after this, I don't know if I'm meant for football.
I'm just going to basketball, coach.
But I learned my lesson. Don't do a spin move back inside.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, that's something I learned too.
Yeah, so I don't know if I had to play through any other type of injuries. I mean, I didn't play that following week.
Had to get your mind back right.
Yeah.
Who was some of your favorite teammates from Guthrie?
Oh man, we had some great teammates. I mean, Kai's obviously a great teammate. But I grew up with my quarterback Keaton Callens.
Okay.
Grew up with Darrell Hughes, Clayton Smith. That was kind of that group right there. Yeah. So me, Keaton, Clayton, and Darrell Hughes. That was the core group. But we definitely had some great teammates for sure. Mm-hmm. So I mean, from what I remember, I don't think I ever had a real beef with it. If I had a beef with somebody, it was probably Clay. I mean, we fought a couple of times, but it was probably
those were your real friends.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we were just around each other all the time. So of course, at some point, you're gonna irk each other.
Right. So going into college, a lot of people don't know this, but you initially went to college on a basketball scholarship, correct?
So,
or how did that work out?
I initially went to Oklahoma State as a walk-on. Like I was there.
I know that. Okay.
Yeah, so I went there for football. They had been recruiting me. They had been sending letters. They were like, "Hey, we want you to be a preferred walk-on." Like it gave me a lot of hope. So I was like, maybe I can earn a scholarship. So I went to Oklahoma State for the summer.
Okay.
And the thing that kind of put me off during that time is they had one more scholarship and they gave it to a wide receiver out of Texas. And I got there and I saw that wide receiver and I was like, this is a slap in the face.
Yeah, this is what we're doing.
I mean, I don't know if I can get behind this. So, I tried to block that out, and I spent the summer up there. And then Kai Staley was already up there at the time, and towards the end of the summer, I told Kai, I was like, I can't get over this. Like,
right.
It's
crazy.
I'm leaving. He was like, man, do what you got to do. So then I did end up going to. At that time, I mean, it was almost like a last resort. I ended up going to Seminole State in Seminole, Oklahoma, junior college. So, I did. I started off with
basketball.
I started off with basketball.
how did it happen to where you switched over to football? I mean, what made you make that change? Or back to football,
right? I mean, I definitely enjoyed the time at Seminole State. I mean, we had a little playoff run in the junior college world, but I don't know. It was I didn't think that I was garnering a lot of attention with basketball, but little did I didn't know that, you know, a lot of the letters were going to the coach up there. So I wasn't receiving those letters. The coach was. But in my mind, I was like, man, maybe I'm not a basketball player. Maybe this isn't it for me. So
did he give them to you? Did he give you the letters?
I mean, after I told him I was leaving.
Oh, man.
It was a little too late at that point. But, you know, I had gotten a call from his name is Tim Albin. He's an Oklahoma guy as well. I think he played football at Northwestern up in Alva, Northwestern Oklahoma State or something like that. Okay. Because they had recruited me out of high school as well, and that's when I was like, no, I'm not going up to Ohio. One is too far. I'm not, you know, all of that stuff. But he gave me a call and he was like, hey, can you still play football? And I was like, what are you talking about? Like I'm here, I'm playing basketball. He was like, well, we're still willing to offer you. Man. Like, oh man. So then, you know, that put that on my mind. I'm like, oh man, I can go to a 4-year college, get a degree, fully paid. I'm like, man, but I'm supposed to be a basketball player.
Right.
Man, talked it over with my parents, and you know, my dad was like, you know, maybe this is a sign for you. Yeah. So ended up going up there, and it worked out.
So what was your mindset? I mean, you were already you were already a competitor. So what was your mindset as far as, like, how did you get back in shape? Like, I mean, because it's two different shapes.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's completely
basketball
different.
and football.
Yeah, I mean.
So what'd you do to get back in football shape, man?
I mean, now I'm probably 175 going up and playing against some grown men in football. But, you know, unfortunately, I didn't get to have a red. They used that junior college year as a red shirt year for Ohio. So, like, once I got up there, it was, you know, I didn't have a lot of time to, you know, try to put on weight and all of that other stuff. Once I got it there, I didn't necessarily get thrown to the fire, but you know, all I could do was the summer workouts while I was there. So, you know, football happens in the summer/fall. Right. So I got up there, worked out during the summer. It's a lot of conditioning. They try to have us lift as many weights as possible, but you know, it's there wasn't a lot to prepare from the summer/spring up into the actual football season. So I probably started that season at around 175, 178. Yeah. Now, I wasn't a starter whenever I first got there either, but you know, the way that I started playing up there is he's a great friend. He was starting over me. Okay. It's you know, it's 3rd and 5, 3rd and 7 or something along those lines. He runs an out route and he drops it. Ooh. Okay. Yeah, it was bad. I mean, we needed it. I mean, it was a close game. Yeah. Man, after that, they threw me in. You know, I caught a little slant route from the slot. Took it and got a first down, and I'm running off the field, and I'm running past the head coach, and he grabbed my shoulder pads. And he was like, "Hey, where you going?"
You going? Get back.
He said, "Stay right here. You're gonna go back in." Okay. I was like, "Oh man!" So that's how that. The rest is history. Yeah, that's how it basically started. So, you know, that's when I was like, man, this.
Yeah, you're gonna do some things now. This from there,
this is a good thing.
That was your sophomore year, you said, or freshman?
So it was technically, I'm a sophomore in school, but I was a freshman up there.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Because they took away the red shirt or whatever.
Yeah, they took away the red shirt during that junior college year. Okay. So I was a freshman.
Okay, I got you. So you're already making noise as soon as you get there.
Man,
But that's why you got to be ready for the opportunities.
That's exactly right. That's exactly
Somebody
right.
drops a ball, you step in. Hey,
man, I hated it for my friend, but I'm like, man, I'm not gonna go in there and try to drop one myself to give you the position back.
I don't want to get even. Yeah, I'm trying to earn me a spot. Yeah. Were there any humbling moments like during your time up there at Ohio?
Oh man, my freshman and sophomore year. I mean, those are grown men. They
absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, you go through that middle and I remember I was running. It's just a little drag route. Like I was just going like right behind the lineman, right in front of the linebackers, and I'm looking back at the quarterback. Ball ain't even coming to me. I think that offside linebacker must have just had it out because I'm just running. He's going to throw it deep, no big deal. That linebacker just came and just
took you off your cleats.
I'm like, oh, and what am I mean, I'm 19 years old. I'm like I said, 170-something pounds. I look at him and I'm like, I can't talk trash right now. Like I'm not built for this.
No. Yeah, you don't want to run past there in the middle of the
it kept my head on the swivel from
Absolutely,
then on. I mean, it worked.
Yeah.
So that was definitely a humbling moment. I was like, I got a lot to learn.
Man. Now you're definitely right. So like as a freshman, when I came in, my first game was against the Nebraska Cornhuskers.
Oh, man.
Right after they won the national championship.
Yeah.
First game, Thursday night, ESPN, all college football. We on TV. We get that's my welcoming moment to college. So that was humbling. So,
it is.
But like you said, when you're 18, 19 years old.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's and you're playing against seniors. Those they 21,
NFL
22.
dudes.
Yeah, they looking to make it. They're making an example. You know, they're trying to put on some good film. Like, hey, I'm not scared of contact.
No, man.
So I mean,
I
got up, but I remember I was like, man, number 49. I got to watch him.
You cried in the car, didn't you?
Man, I was like, I came back to that sideline. I was like,
those are some good times though, man.
Yeah,
humbling moments, but. What don't kill you, makes you better.
They were just smart. I mean, against Temple, I mean, I ended up getting a concussion on this one. I mean, I was running it was a run play. I'm doing an MDM, most dangerous man. So I run up. There's his safety. This was sophomore year. He had been talking to me all game. You know, I'm like, ooh, this is my perfect opportunity. I'm about to crack block him. Like I'm getting him.
Yeah.
Man, I run up. I'm like, oh, he doesn't see me. He saw me. I didn't know it though.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm about to dip my shoulder. I'm about to light him up. I'm gonna flatten this
about
pancake.
To get him,
This gonna look good on film.
Yeah.
Man, I dipped my shoulder. He dipped his shoulder before I did.
Oh, he knew it was
just straightened the chin strap. My neck cracked back. I'm like, oh man, yeah. So it was just situations like that they're definitely humbling.
Yeah. So your quarterback, Tyler Tettleton.
Yep.
So tell me about him. How was that chemistry with you guys?
Yeah, he was great. I mean, whenever during the junior college, whenever I was I was about to commit, he was the guy that, kind of showed me around and stuff like that. I had heard of him during my high school days, but I didn't know exactly who he was.
Yeah.
But, I still talk to him to this day. I mean, he just came back. He's actually a coach for the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Okay.
He's on their staff. He was a great quarterback. I mean, his situation was a little weird too. He ended up playing his freshman year. He redshirted his sophomore year.
Okay.
If he was probably 2 inches taller, he had an arm that was built for the league for sure.
Okay.
He had the speed that was built for the league. I don't know if it was just the height or what, but he definitely had the ability to be an NFL quarterback. He may be the wide receivers coach, either wide receivers or running backs coach. I can't remember, but he's out there now. Because there was another Norman guy that was out there not too long ago. His name is Press Taylor.
Okay.
It's actually Zach Taylor's brother who's the coach of the Bengals.
Okay.
So, yeah, he's enjoying his time out there for sure.
So now Ohio didn't get a lot of national television attention. So what was the special thing that brought you out there? I mean, what was it a coach that just...
I mean, the special thing was them giving me an opportunity after I had taken a year off.
Yeah.
I mean, I had committed to play basketball, and I mean, I know it does happen, but it doesn't happen a lot to where, a school is like, hey, and it's not like they saw my film at junior college in Seminole. They were, it's not like, oh, he can still play. They called and was like, hey, can you still play football? And I think. I mean, I haven't touched a football in a year and a half probably. Yeah. So, that's what really, stood out to me. I was like, man, if they believe in me, then I got to take this opportunity.
Might as well, might as well. Yeah. Yeah, because like you said, coming from a JUCO and then going to, a 4-year college.
Yeah, it's mid-American, I think mid-level college type of deal. So, it was a big leap still.
Yeah. So now you're the all-time leading receiver, the touchdowns among wide receivers, right? Mm-hmm. Correct? I guess. Yep. How does that feel? So I mean, like you're in the record books up there.
Yeah, I mean, it almost got broken this past year.
Oh yeah.
But right now I'm still at number one, and that's just, I mean, that's Tettleton. That was Tyler Tettleton.
Yeah.
Ohio's kind of more known for their running, that type of running football, kind of running football team. But Tyler Tettleton came in there and he broke the records. I mean, he holds the records for.
Yeah, he had a couple of several.
I mean, he had. Yeah. I'm sure it's probably Tyler Tettleton amongst a lot of things. Passing yards, touchdowns, all of those. So he kind of changed that genre of Ohio football.
Your time at Ohio, what did Ohio teach you about resilience and mental toughness and all that stuff?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it was. I mean, I had to grow up. I mean, I wasn't home next to mom and dad. They couldn't, they couldn't jump in the car and drive an hour and a half anymore. You had to had to handle things yourself at that point. Yeah. I can call all I want, but
mom wasn't there to tell people to take down them signs. Or whatever.
I had to. Yeah. You have to face that by yourself now. But as for the school and the football, I mean, yeah, it was definitely a lot tougher. I mean, the college football is a lot different than high school football.
Oh, definitely.
It's a lot more competitive. You're not better than everyone.
Right.
You're facing so you're facing a lot more adversity. You're trying to figure things out. So, but a lot of those intangibles kind of transfer over to
right.
life as well.
Exactly.
Mom came. She can't tell me to wake up. Hey, it's time to go to school. If you late,
yeah,
you're running. You're gonna there's punishment for that.
Right.
So there's just a lot of things that it did teach me a lot.
Did you have any pregame rituals? Any type of superstitious things that you did before games?
If I had one thing, it was I had to listen to one song before I went out there, and it's Eminem. It's Till I Collapse. He just makes me mad for some. I mean, Eminem is just a mad person.
Yeah. Just angry. Yeah.
Right before I would go out, I'd have to turn that on, and I'm at least mad during warm-ups in the first quarter. I'm like, so
going out there hitting people.
Yeah, it gets you in that mood.
Yeah. You're among the record holders in at Ohio. Now it's time to go to the NFL. So. Did you have an agent or anything kind of like coming out like your senior year, or do you?
Yeah, I did. It's kind
you didn't sound too sure about that.
No, I had an agent. I guess I can take it as a learning experience. But I had an agent that he brought me on right out of college or whatever, and. I had signed with them and all this stuff, and once I actually got to the league, I think it was probably year one after I gotten cut. I hadn't gotten any calls or anything like that, so I ended up letting them go. Yeah. But little did I know, and this is why you got to read your contracts. Everything that he paid for. I had to end. There was an addendum in there. I had to pay him back.
Yeah.
So, and I didn't realize that. Right. So, once I had let him go, it was, it was an unfortunate situation during that time. So, but I ended up hiring somebody else and getting some more opportunities and things like that. But yeah, I did. I had an agent.
Did you have to get in, any legal disputes or legal? Like the contract,
we ended up settling.
Okay.
Yeah, because it was gonna go to arbitration and all that other stuff. It was moving up the ladder, but I mean, once I looked at that contract, it was pretty black and white.
Right.
It was right there in it. I mean, there aren't a lot of contracts that are like that, but there was an addendum to it. So, and I didn't realize that. Whenever you coming out of college, you just excited. I mean,
exactly.
I'm like, man, he's gonna get me some opportunities. I'm signing on. He's like, he makes it sound all good. Yeah, we're gonna train in Miami.
Right.
We're gonna go to
make it sound good.
We're gonna go to North Beach and Gronkowski was training out there.
Yeah.
I was like, oh man, this is big time. Like, yeah, I'm gonna sign with you. So it sounded good, but
little did you know you had to pay all that.
Man, you read the fine print.
Yeah, read the fine print. Was there anything special that you knew before? Well, I mean, I guess probably just reading contracts. That's probably the main thing. I guess.
I didn't know about. I know that now, but I didn't know that then. But I mean, because we had a couple of NFL players that graduated from Ohio, and they were there. I mean, I knew it was going to be a grind. I mean, his name was Levon Brazil. He was the best receiver at Ohio and all this stuff. And I mean, every time he would come back, he'd be like, yeah, it's just different. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, they don't the NFL they don't worship him like Ohio was doing. You know, they don't. He's just another wide receiver out there.
Right. Well, how was the draft for you? Like, did you expect to get drafted?
There was a chance, like in the seventh round,
Okay.
because there was a couple of teams that had called, and you know, they said that they may end up moving up and things like that.
Okay.
But I didn't have any like high expectations on that.
Gotcha.
I knew I would get an opportunity. I just didn't know, you know, when it was going to come.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So when you got signed with, so how did the Minnesota Viking deal come about?
I mean, right after the draft, they had called.
Okay.
They actually called that agent, and I mean, the agent ended up taking that deal. But man, I honestly wish I would have ended up going. I honestly wish I would have ended up going with New York instead of Minnesota at that time. So Minnesota called first, and then New York ended up calling after that. But we had already agreed to going with Minnesota.
I got you.
Minnesota they were heavy on a lot of receivers whenever I was coming out, and Minnesota had a little bit. You know, that's when Odell had came out, and he had a hamstring injury.
Okay.
So, you know, they didn't have a lot of receivers there at that time.
You signed with Minnesota, and now camp is coming along. Were you nervous going into camp?
Oh yeah. There's levels to it too. Like from high school,
levels of nervousness.
I mean, it was just different levels of players.
Players.
Like,
Oh yeah.
Whenever you see those NFL players, they look like they're just like an agile Brock Lesnar looking.
Yeah, like action heroes.
Like yeah, I'm like this guy probably has 3% body fat and he runs a 4.5. I'm like,
man, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, so I was definitely nervous. I mean, we played it whenever I was at Minnesota. Their defense it was great. I mean, there was Xavier Rhodes, he was a Pro Bowler at one time. They had Harrison Smith, who's you know, he's now like 32, 33, and he's still balling. Man, I mean, it was crazy. There was an insane defense there. But yeah, I was definitely nervous. I mean, it was just like anything else. Whenever you go into someplace new, you're gonna have a little bit of butterflies.
How long did it take you to get a groove and like where you're going into training camp and stuff?
Yeah.
Like how, you know, at what point did you like relax and say, okay, this is gonna be good. This is gonna be.
It was definitely during OTAs. You know, once you start to make a couple of catches, make a couple of good moves, and you get settled in, you're like, okay, I can do this. I belong here.
You said during OTAs?
Okay, so we had gone through like rookie mini camp, and then we have our mandatory mini camp. Then there's a little bit of time off, and then you go through your OTAs and stuff like that.
Were there any veterans that took you under you under their wings?
My group there was actually pretty good. I mean, from a young guy perspective, there was Cordell Patterson. I think he was only 1 year in. That's probably who I hung out with the most. But as for like the veterans, Kyle Rudolph, he was really nice. Greg Jennings, he took us in. And then obviously, Adrian was a great guy. That was the year that he had got into but prior to that, he was. You know, he had loaned his vehicle out to us. He was just a guy that was going to take care of us.
Now, we had another Guthrie star that came out, Kentrell Brothers.
Oh, yeah.
Was he at Minnesota with you at that time?
No. So I was probably a year and a half removed whenever Kentrell got there. So I think I believe I was with a different team whenever he actually got drafted, but it would have been pretty sweet to get there.
But he was at Minnesota, right?
Yeah, he did go to Minnesota. Yeah. I think he ended up because he redshirted, and I think he got a medical red shirt.
Okay.
And I'm already 2 years older than he is, so I think he ended up breaking his leg at Missouri, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. But yeah, he was definitely a dog too. His IQ is insanely high in football. He's really smart.
Okay.
Yeah, he was very involved because he won some state championships with us too.
Yeah. Okay.
So he was a sophomore my senior year. So he has a couple of rings. He was pivotal in our basketball championship.
Okay.
He might have played as a freshman. I can't remember for sure, but he might have.
With talking about the NFL, what is something about the NFL that average everyday people don't understand or wouldn't understand?
I think it looks I think whenever people watch it on TV, it looks like sunshine and rainbows,
Yeah.
like it's fun, and these guys get paid a lot of money to play on Sundays, but the grind behind it is insane. I mean, there's 12-hour days, there's 14-hour days. I mean, we had to be there at 5 a.m. and we may not leave until 6 p.m.
Right.
I mean, there's those type of days that people don't see. There's people working. There's people fighting adversity. There's people fighting through injuries and things like that. And I don't think people really realize how much goes into it for a lot of those players to prepare their bodies for, now it's 18 game season.
Yeah.
It's not easy whatsoever.
I don't know what team you may have been with, but like you had that moment where, dang, I made it to the big leagues.
Oh, it was definitely Minnesota because, I wasn't sure if I was going to be on that team. It was funny. I mean, our offensive coordinator during that time, his name is Norv Turner.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not sure what it was, or if he had something against me at the time. I know I was out for I had gotten a small injury during OTAs where I couldn't practice and stuff. But all throughout the preseason, first game, no time, no, I didn't get in the game at all. Second game, no time whatsoever.
Man.
Third game, that's usually when the veterans play.
Okay,
they get their preparation. So I didn't get no time then. Fourth game, they're preparing for the fourth game. They were like, everybody's going to get some time. Everybody's going to play. So I was like, none of the veterans are playing at all. I should get some time.
Yeah.
First half goes by, nothing. I'm like, man, I mean, why am I even here?
Yeah.
Like I might as well just stay at home and watch this on TV.
Right.
It wasn't until the second half of the last game. Christian Ponder was actually the quarterback, and I finally get in. They finally throw, me and Christian, we practice all the time together. So, they were wondering,
the chemistry in it.
Why ain't you playing? So he gets, I get in the game, and Christian just starts feeding me. I'm like, oh, this is great. Like, I run an out route. It's high. I go up and get it. It's great, So I think from that film, they were like, man, we can't get rid of you now.
You can't let nobody else get them.
Yeah, exactly. So that's when I was like, that's, finally got some respect around here.
How many teams did you actually play
so
with?
It was Minnesota, San Diego. I went to Dallas. New York, and then I ended with Tennessee. So it was five teams.
Were you on practice squads with all of them?
So I was on practice squad with Minnesota, San Diego, Dallas. The only one I wasn't on practice squad with was New York. I got there during the off season.
Okay. How was that? I mean, how did that keep you prepared mentally?
It's tough. It's tough. I mean, because every player dreads Tuesdays during that season. Every player. I mean, because Tuesdays is the day that, if your phone rings and it's from the GM, you might as well just grab your playbook. You might as well
get your playbook.
Yeah, you might as well just grab that and, pack your bags while you're at it. So you're at it. But, I mean, I know whenever I had first gotten released from Minnesota, I just wanted to stick around and stay there and stuff. So, I mean, I was literally going up to like playgrounds and stuff, just running my own routes, running routes on air, going to the local gym. There was a Anytime Fitness. There was an Anytime Fitness down there that I would just work out at. And then, gratefully they called again, was like, hey, we got to bring you back.
Okay.
So, it's definitely tough to try to stay prepared because, you just kind of feel lost if not playing the game that that's your profession.
Yep.
And it's not PTO either. So
no. You gotta do it for free.
Yeah, exactly.
What was one of your favorite cities that you played in?
It wasn't fun playing there, but New York was. I had never been to New York, so and the Giants, it's actually in New Jersey, but we got to go to the city and stuff for that. So it was fun seeing all of that. You just see it on TV and stuff, but that was probably one of my favorites. And Minnesota is actually not a bad city, a bad state. There's a ton to do up there. Just it gets overlooked by a lot of the bigger cities.
Yeah, it's funny you say New York. in New Jersey because you remember the XFL when it first came out?
Yeah.
So I got drafted to New York, New Jersey Hitmen.
Okay.
The Hitmen, and so we got to enjoy some of the nightlife, and man, it was just so fast.
Yeah,
I just like it, man.
It's
when there's a New York minute, is a New York minute.
It's just different. It's something that
like
I've never
10
seen
seconds.
before.
Yeah, it was
being
ridiculous.
from Oklahoma and going to Ohio.
Yeah.
And all of these
Yeah.
other places. I was like, oh man, this.
Yeah, I remember they were like limo drivers, like driving the limos, like they were like little cars, like they dipping
be
through traffic.
speeding.
I'm like, man,
I'm like,
I'm gonna walk.
I can't drive through New York.
No.
I can't do it. I mean, they just don't care. I
Man,
mean,
it was-
either you're gonna get over, or I'm gonna move you over.
You're right, and they didn't care. Any stories outside of football that you can tell us about, like some of your teammates that you can share? Got to keep it G-rated.
I was about to say, I don't know if I have any of those. At least none that they would, none that they don't that they want me to tell anybody about. So
Who's one of your funniest ones? I mean,
it was Cordell Patterson for sure.
Cordell Patterson.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
He was a character. He has the Carolina accent. He's very outspoken. He's
Okay.
He was definitely fun to be around at times if he wasn't in a mood.
Yeah. Okay. So we're gonna do like a little bonus, like a rapid fire type deal.
Okay.
Now, the hardest hit you ever took was probably the one you talking about.
It was probably the Temple. It was.
Temple hit.
I mean,
Number 49.
it was in, I forget what their mascot is, but it was definitely Temple.
The
It
Owls?
was, it
Temple
is the
Owls.
Owls.
Yeah.
It is Temple Owl. It was definitely him because it always hurts to get whenever you're about to make the contact and somebody else initiates it.
yeah.
And you're just, it was so unexpected.
Yeah.
So and I ended up getting a concussion that game.
Oh dang.
I mean, I had to miss the following game, which was it was actually my birthday the following week. So I was sitting there in the dark by myself.
light
was
light
terrible.
hurting your eyes. and
Man,
everything?
it was terrible. I'm watching them on TV. I'm like, man,
Man.
this sucks.
The best athlete out of Guthrie, not named Donte Foster.
Ooh. Man, that's a tough one.
It's
That's
a few.
tough
It's
one.
a few.
There
yeah.
is, man. I'm really leaning DeMarco Jones.
Okay.
2003. I mean, because he was
He was the dude, huh?
he had the athleticism to be in the league.
What was the last song you played before kickoff?
Oh, it was Till I Collapsed.
Till
I Collapsed. Eminem.
Oklahoma barbecue or Ohio wings?
Man, there was this spot in Athens, Ohio, that was called Wings Over, and man, it was to die for. It was that makes it tough because Oklahoma barbecue is good, but
Yeah.
man, I might have to go Wings Over Athens,
the wing,
just
okay.
that single spot.
Okay. The first NFL player you fanboyed over?
Adrian Peterson.
JP?
Yeah, it was Adrian.
That dude was
he was
just angry runner.
I mean, he's stronger than what he looks like. That's the bad part.
Yeah.
You know, we would finish practice and he'd go back in there and squat 500. I'm like, what are
to warm up with.
I'm like, man, what are we doing?
Yeah,
How
what
are
are we
you
doing?
I mean, it's not like you're a linebacker type guy. I mean,
Right.
How are you still putting this? I'm like, I don't know if I can calf race this.
Man, no, that's too much. Yeah. If we made a movie about your life, who's playing you?
It's Will Smith for
Will
sure.
Smith.
Yeah, Will Smith.
I mean, you gotta,
yeah,
So,
definitely Will Smith.
Will Smith. Okay. You get one more chance at any sport. Which one are you picking and what position?
I'm picking football, and I'm either a backup quarterback or a kicker.
Oh yeah, it is. That's playing it safe.
The
Playing safe.
longevity
Yeah,
is
the longevity.
insane.
Yeah,
you
playing
know.
it safe.
Those kickers, they live a good life.
Man, and the long snappers too. Yeah,
That too. Yeah, you can't touch the long snapper
Right, no.
nowadays.
Do you know what your 40 time is right now?
No,
probably
I
still
don't. But I'm gonna say it's not. I'm gonna say high 4.5.
Okay. I
Yeah.
said you got to be under 5.
Oh
5.
yeah, 1,000%.
Okay. What's the pettiest thing you've ever done after a win that you can remember?
I remember against Buffalo, there was this guy that was talking trash the entire game. So after I had scored a couple of touchdowns. So I tweeted him. That's probably
That's a petty. That's a little
I
petty
tweeted
right
him.
there.
I was
Yeah.
like, you still locking me up this game?
Right.
So,
Yeah, I'm still open.
yeah. That's what I should have. Hey, if I could go back, that's what I'm still open.
Yeah, right. Describe your high school self in 3 words.
Class clown,
Okay.
competitive,
Okay.
Man, I don't know what the other one would be. I feel like I was friendly.
Friendly. Okay.
I feel like I was friendly to everyone.
Friendly.
So.
Okay. Good. Describe your high school. No, I'm sorry. Who would win in a one-on-one, the hooper Donte or the wide receiver Donte?
Ooh. I would probably say, I'd probably say the wide receiver Donte would try to bully the basketball one. So
Yeah.
So that's what
that's
I'm
the stronger one of them.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Who is the most underrated athlete you've ever seen?
I mean, and so for high school, I mean, there's a guy named Kai Callens. He tore his ACL in high school, but if he didn't tear his ACL, I think he would. He had D1 looks and things like that, but he tore it his junior year, and things kind of went downhill from there. I think he still won a championship, but he's definitely an underrated athlete.
Okay. Your favorite sports movie of all time?
Probably Any Given Sunday.
Okay.
I like Willie Beeman.
That's a good one. Willie Beam.
Yeah, exactly.
If you had your own signature shoe.
My nickname in college was Dio, so I'd say like the Dio3s.
Dio3. Okay.
Yeah, Dio3s.
Okay. There we go. Nike, Adidas.
Nike.
Nikes. Okay.
Yeah.
After everything you've been through, high school, college, pros, how is life today? Who is Donte Foster today?
I mean, I'm a family man, have a wife, 2 kids, stable job. So, I'm just a man that's, just enjoying life. I mean, I feel a little bit healthier.
Yeah.
I still play some basketball and stuff. So, I mean, like I said, I'm just a family man, having a stable job and having fun.
Yeah. Where'd you meet your wife?
We actually went to the same high school.
In Guthrie?
So yeah, she's Contrail's age, so she graduated in 2011. So we've known each other since, I don't know, probably since she was a freshman, probably a little younger and stuff. So
And how many kids?
I have 2 kids, 5-year-old and a 2-year-old. So they hear somebody screaming in the background.
That's his kids now. Now, are any sparks of greatness athletically?
Man, my daughter's actually pretty tall.
Is she? Okay.
She's tall, so she likes basketball, but she's very reserved.
Okay.
So she doesn't like big crowds and stuff like that. We played some basketball this past winter, and I see signs, but she can't get over everybody watching her. So kind of gets a stage fright. So there's some potential.
You'll get it out of her.
Yeah, and then the little boy, he's rough. So I assume he's gonna need to take his anger out somewhere.
That might get it out of your daughter. I mean,
he tries to bully her.
Yeah,
and there's a 2.5, 3 year, or there's a 3-year difference.
Yeah. Okay. Is there a moment in your life that you're most proud of outside of sports?
I mean, just raising these kids. Yeah, the family. I mean, that's probably what I'm most proud of right now.
Is that one way you would define success right now?
That's 1,000% true. I mean, just being there for my kids, for my wife, being able to watch them grow up. Try to ease some of her stress of taking care of them as well. But that's definitely success for sure.
So let me ask you this. So have you seen the movie Back to the Future?
Yeah.
Okay. So, Marty goes back into time, and he sees his younger self. And what advice would you tell your younger self about that?
Man, if it's sports related, I would let him know, if you think you're doing enough, it still isn't enough. I would tell him you gotta put in a lot more work than what you think you're putting in if you actually want to get to where you want to be to. So, you're going to face a lot of adversity. You're going to want to give up.
Absolutely,
but, you got to tell yourself it's a marathon. It's not a sprint.
Right,
so
right.
You got to keep going.
Yeah, that's good advice. I saw a quote. I don't know where I got it from, but it said, "If you're going through hell, keep going."
Yeah, there's only one way out.
Keep going through it, man.
There's only one way out.
How important is mental health and identity after sports?
Yeah, that's a big one. Because I see a lot of people. I hear about a lot of people that struggles with that transition. I mean, because whenever you're playing, I mean, that's all you know. You
right.
know sports, you know football, you know basketball, you know baseball. That's all you've done. That's what you've done for 20 plus years or whatever. So for the people that are struggling with it is vitally important for them to talk to someone. But for myself, after being cut, like I said, 5 or 6 times or whatever it may be, at some point I had to tell myself like, hey, this is it. I mean, do you want to continue to try, or is it time to hang the cleats up? And after that last one, I went back home and I evaluated everything, and the agent was still, he was still trying to convince me to go to some combines and tryouts, and at some point I was like, this is putting a strain on your mental health. I mean, how many more times am I going to go through it?
Yeah.
So it was important for me to just shut it down.
Yeah. Who's someone that you would like to give your flowers to right now, like somebody that's in your life?
Man, it's probably my dad for sure.
Your dad, okay.
Like I said, I wasn't making it without him pushing me, and he knew who I was more than I actually did.
Okay.
So the mornings that me and my brother, we didn't get normal summers. We didn't get to sleep in past 8 o'clock.
Okay.
We would have to get up 6 a.m. I still remember we'd get up, had to go to the park and run 12 miles.
Man,
it was crazy.
Yeah.
It was, if we wanted to go to I remember I went to Keaton's house, and he had, you remember those calf shoes that, I had to go to Keaton's house in the calf shoes. I mean, he was building, he was building an athlete.
Okay.
And he knew I was special. So, and he knew I was special before I knew I was special. So, for him to see that, like I said, I know that he switched jobs so that he can make it to all of our sporting events, so that he can coach us, and he made a lot of sacrifices for us. So for him to do that, like I said, winning that first state championship, he could see the work paying off.
Right.
Going to Ohio on a football full pay scholarship, he could see that work going to the NFL.
Right.
He saw all that work paying off. So, like I said, without him continuing to be there and pushing me,
there's no you.
I probably wouldn't have made it to where I was before.
Right. Legacy-wise, your legacy. So, I've coached a lot of kids and athletes and stuff like that, and I ask them, when you have somebody that's made a difference in life and stuff like that, I was like, what do you want your dash to be between when you were born and the day that you pass away? The dash in the middle.
Yeah.
What do you want your legacy to be remembered by, like here in Oklahoma, or just as a person?
For Guthrie, I know I always want to be in that argument of the greatest athlete to ever walk.
I'll say, it's a good argument.
Halls. So, there a lot of people have arguments for why they may be, and I have mine, and I feel like my name comes up pretty constantly. For me, I was just having fun, but if everybody could have fun and do it, they would.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, for me, like I said, one of the greatest athletes to
come out of Oklahoma,
to walk the halls.
Yeah. I mean, not only Guthrie, but Oklahoma.
That too. You just said, there's not a lot of people. I mean, it sounds like I'm in the room with a lot of great athletes.
Right.
You see the Sam Bradford, the Tyler Lockett. So for my name to be among those theirs, that says a lot.
Well, that's awesome, man. Yeah. Same for me, but I mean, I'm not you've I'd like to be, but you have by, it's not, like I said, there's only probably 6 people in the state of Oklahoma, in Oklahoma sports history that have done what you've done. And I appreciate you coming by. And,
I appreciate you having me.
The very first interview we're having at Dick's House of Sports. So, man, I just appreciate you being the first one.
Like I said, I appreciate you having me.